Operation Hovnanian Enterprises kicking off what many are calling a fire sale today. It is hoping to sell 1,000 homes in 19 states by slashing prices, get this, up to $100,000, possibly more. On the phone with us right now, the guy who thought up this idea, Ara Hovnanian. Ara is the CEO of Hovnanian Enterprises. Ara, what response have you had?
Well, so far, phenomenal, and we're thrilled. Parking lots are full. We've got sales orders coming in by the hour. We've had so many hits to our website, even with tripling the servers, it crashed the website. So far, we're extremely pleased.
You know what I always think about, though, Ara? The poor sucker who bought yesterday. Right? And he's got a $500,000 home, and the lucky dude next door just got the same home for $400,000. What are you going to do for the $500,000?
Okay, the reality is, Neil, we didn't slash 100,000 in one day. Some of the incentives have been increasing steadily over the months, and we did bump it an extra amount for this sale, but not 100,000. The 100,000 they're referring to, again, is what the prices have come down, all the incentives since we began lowering prices.
All right. Well, we should focus. I mean, your stock is off 68% this year, but it was up, I think, 10% just today on this. I think the market senses that you'll get a lot of inventory under control, if not sold off completely, but at a huge cost, Ara, that all of a sudden now you might have opened up a Pandora's box of selling or cutthroat price cutting among all your competitors, and then it leads to just the one thing you didn't want, housing industry price collapse.
You know, I mean, that's sensationalizing it just a bit, Neil. The reality is, again, prices have been adjusting gradually for the last 12 months. In that $100,000 example, it probably had slowly come down to $90,000, right up till last week. And so what we've done is we've kick-started it an extra $10,000 as an example. And again, every community, every location is different. But that's just an example. So it hasn't been as dramatic as the numbers you're thinking.
But Ara, could one fairly say that after this weekend is over, I think it lasts through the weekend, right?
Yeah.
That on Monday, people will say, you know what, I'm not going to buy until they do this again. In other words, with the best of intentions, Ara, you've spoiled people into thinking, wait for the sale, and there'll be a sale.
Well, first of all, we're contrary to what everybody's saying, and it's interesting that it's getting a little more media attention, but we're not the first national builder that's done this.
No, you're not.
Pulte did it before, and Beazer just did one in June.
Yeah, but I think it's fair to say you're the biggest, and the homes in question here are the most expensive of those that have been done to date, right?
I don't actually think that's accurate, but, regardless, it's not unusual for auto dealers to have sales, for department stores to have sales. So does that mean no one buys at any other time of the year? And it's not as though we're going to do this every few weeks. We've got inventory homes that are specific homes that we're running some specials on, and it is what it is.
Okay.
I think the extra sales will absolutely be worth the effort.
All right, we'll see what happens. Ara, very good talking to you again. Be well.
Okay, thank you.
Ara Hovnanian. So will these deep cuts drive prices lower for everyone and hurt homeowners across America? Let's ask our market pros, Charles Massimo, John Bradshaw Layfield, and Danielle Babb, author of Finding Foreclosure. Danielle, to you first. What do you think?
Yeah, Neil, this deal of the century is going to be doom of the decade for the homeowners in these areas. This is going to be a big problem. Hovnanian may sell a lot of homes. The people in the area who are trying to refinance to keep themselves out of foreclosure are going to have a big problem when their comparative analysis comps that banks use are going to tank.
Yeah, that was my first thing that came to mind, Bradshaw, because all of a sudden a home that I thought was valued at Muggs figure, $300,000, all of a sudden is worth 20% less than that, right? It changes the landscape.
It changes the landscape because it happens so dramatically and so fast. It's going to happen anyway. The most painful thing, with all due respect to Mrs. Babb, the most painful thing in a housing slump is when you start to get to the end of it and you see housing prices start slashing. And this is a harbinger of things to come. Mr. Hovnanian was great to do it first, but he's definitely not going to be the last. You're going to see this happen across the country.
And maybe some people see in what he's doing, just recognizing the obvious. If I got to eventually look at getting less for my homes, I might as well take it in one big bite now.
Sure, absolutely. And you have two types of homeowners. You have those that are looking to flip their properties, but you also have those that are looking to
they're gone, aren't they?
Those are the ones that you need to be concerned about. But then again, you have the homeowner that's looking to create memories for his family for the next 30 years. So take the opportunity now, and as they said before, it is a little bit of a sale, and take an opportunity to get in for your family and buy a home at a good price.
You know, Daniel, I can't help thinking of that poor sucker, though, who bought in one of these developments and paid full price. And, you know, they're going to have a barbecue someday in that neighborhood, and the guy next door says, no, I got the same house for less, and you're a fool, and pass me the hot dog, you know? It's not good.
Yeah, that's going to... No, it's not. And I really see that's going to be a big problem. If you've got someone that bought 2 phases ago and paid $100,000 or didn't get all of those free upgrades, and, you know, the CEO, he talked about using incentives and pricing down more slowly. The media that I've seen today has reported differently. And even if they're just upgrading the homes, it still affects comps. The price is it will still be deflated. Joe next door couldn't afford to put in those stainless steel appliances. The house next door has them, it's going to be valued higher. We teach in economics. I teach economics on a daily basis to graduate students, and one of the things we always tell them is that if the market is not at equilibrium, you cut prices incrementally until supply equals demand. And in my opinion, Hovnanian's not doing this.
All right. Well, they did something, maybe, Bretcha, you said, was recognizing just the reality of the markets. Now, other builders like Toll come to mind, where they've thrown in maybe a conservatory, an extra garage, they'll finish a basement, but they've never gone to the degree of cutting the price of a home by $100,000. Is this what all home builders have to do now?
Yes, and I think it's what they will do. Hovnanian was first. They added liquidity to their business model.
So everyone's going to wait. If you're right, if you're buying a home right now, especially a new home, you're just going to sit and chill.
I fully believe this is a harbinger of worse things to come as far as the housing market is concerned.
Do you agree with that?
Well, again, you know, we're always in the camp of you can't time whether it's the real estate market or the financial markets. You have to do what's best for you, you know, what's best on your criteria. And if that means buying a house now for the next 30 years, go ahead. Or if it's too risky or you can't afford it, then you need to wait. But if you can get in, do it now. I think it's a great opportunity if you're going to be there for the long run. Again, if you're flipping or if you can't afford it, just like any other investment, use firm criteria in making your decision.
All right. Thank you guys very, very much. A guy for whom this might be a moot point because apparently he can't afford a home, O.J. Simpson. Police are interviewing him. He's been